Very good afternoon, friends. We are into the last part of the gravity dam. As I have told you, first we will try to understand the some design aspects. Very simple. Don't take any load. Just concentrate in the lecture. You will understand everything. So, design aspect of the triangular section or the theoretical section of the gravity dam. Then the practical profile. यानी प्रैक्टिकली हम डैम कैसा बनाते हैं, और उसके बाद में डैम की जो हाइट रहती है उसके जो लिमिटेशंस है, और वो हाइट के हिसाब से डैम का क्रॉस सेक्शन कैसे देना चाहिए, ये कुछ चीजें हैं जिसमें सम मैथमेटिकल पार्ट इज देयर, सम डेरिवेशनल पार्ट है ना. इसके ऊपर कोई एग्जाम में न्यूमेरिकल नहीं आता है, लेकिन यदि रिटन एग्जाम हुई तो इसके ऊपर शॉर्ट नोट्स जरूर आते हैं. टू नो द theoretical section of the gravity dam, something about the principal stresses and the shear stresses needed to be know. है ना. कहीं तो भी आपने in your studies either structural analysis or somewhere you must have gone through the concept of principal planes or principal stresses. ठीक है. वो हम डैम के लिए उसके कैसे ये है वैल्यूज वो निकालेंगे, या डायरेक्टली वी विल go into the solution or to the answer of the various principal stresses and the shear stresses, and then we will move on to regular part. है ना. इसके डेरिवेशन आपके नोट्स में मैंने दिया है, प्रिंसिपल एंड द shear stresses का. if you have the time you can go through that, else you can keep directly the various derivational results into your mind. Friends, you all know that the normal stress intensity calculated in our earlier lectures, Pn value, that is Pn is equal to V by B 1 plus minus 6 E by B. ठीक है. ये डैम के बेड में एक वर्टिकल स्ट्रेस ड्यू टू ऑल दिस हॉरिजॉन्टल एंड द डाउनवर्ड स्ट्रेसेस due to the body weight etc of the dam, that is the combination of horizontal and vertical from the dam part, either body of the dam, water pressure upstream, water pressure downstream, earthquake etc, silt pressure. तो जो भी वर्टिकल अल्टीमेट लोड एक्ट होता है एट द फाउंडेशन is being repelled by the foundation. If that vertical force which is acting downwards is more than the compressive stress of the foundation material, then the dam will collapse in compression. So that equal and opposite normal stress at the foundation, we have found out that derivation Pn is equal to total vertical force by the dam divided by base width of the dam multiplied by 1 plus minus 6 into eccentricity E of the resultant from the center of the dam डिवाइडेड बाय बेस विड्थ ऑफ द डैम. ऐसा डेरिवेशन हमने नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस के बारे में पहले देखा है. लेकिन ये जो नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस इंटेंसिटी है, दिस नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस इंटेंसिटी इज ओनली एट द फाउंडेशन ऑफ द डैम. दिस नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस इंटेंसिटी और डायरेक्ट स्ट्रेस इज नॉट विद इन द बॉडी ऑफ द डैम. यानी डैम जो कंक्रीट का है, वो डैम के अंदर भी कोई स्ट्रेसेस हो जाती है क्या? प्रोड्यूस होगी ना, क्यों नहीं होगी? क्योंकि it has to retain the water, it has to retain its own weight, earthquake forces are there, okay, silt pressure is there, all those pressures create certain stresses inside the body of the dam. Various values of those stresses will be there. So we have to calculate the maximum stresses. ये डैम बॉडी में जो स्ट्रेसेस मैक्सिमम क्रिएट होती है, and always keep in mind that this maximum stress created within the body of must be less than the compressive stress or the tensile stress of the concrete or the material of which this dam is made. and ऐसे थोड़े थोड़े बेसिक चीजें हम ध्यान में रखेंगे. तो ये कहाँ है भाई मैक्सिमम स्ट्रेसेस? these maximum stresses will occur on the principal planes, है ना? कहीं तो भी आपने पढ़ा है principal planes are the planes within the body of any structure on which the maximum stresses occur. ठीक है? तो अब ये डैम में प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेसेस हाउ फाइंड करने के लिए वी हैव टू एज्यूम certain principal planes. So therefore, it is necessary to calculate the maximum stresses that will occur on the principal planes. Now, for knowing those principal stresses, we will take two principal planes which are perpendicular to each other, either on the downstream side of the dam or on the upstream side of the dam. Upstream phase जो है डैम का, उसमें का कुछ सेक्शन और दैट पार्ट वी विल टेक एज द प्रिंसिपल प्लेन, और डाउनस्ट्रीम पार्ट का सरफेस हम प्रिंसिपल प्लेन का एक सरफेस करके लेंगे. क्यों? व्हाई? बिकॉज ऑन द डाउनस्ट्रीम एज वेल एज ऑन द अपस्ट्रीम पार्ट water pressure is acting over the surface of the body of the dam, and this water pressure is always perpendicular on the surface, है ना? हमें हाइड्रोलिक्स में मालूम है कि the water or the fluid pressure is always perpendicular on the surface in which it is enclosed. तर त्याच्यामुळे याच्या जो सरफेस आहे, आउटर सरफेस ऑफ द डॅम पार्ट, either on the upstream or downstream, the water pressure is acting perpendicular, and there is no shear force or shear pressure on this surface either on the downstream or on the upstream. So we consider that one face as one principal plane. So consider an elementary triangular section. जैसे यहाँ पे हमने ABC, you must be viewing in your slides or in on your screen, color में red color ABC. So we have considered an elementary triangular section, right angle triangle, either at the hill, जैसे मैंने बोला, एक तो अपस्ट्रीम में, और एट द टो, दैट इज डाउनस्ट्रीम में. सो हियर कहीं भी ले सकते हैं आप. अभी हमने डाउनस्ट्रीम में कंसीडर किया है. वी कैन अप्लाई द स्ट्रेसेस फाउंड आउट प्रिंसिपल टू द अपस्ट्रीम आल्सो सिमिलरली, दैट वी विल सी. So ABC is the triangular part taken, of which AC is one of the side over which the water pressure is perpendicularly acting, है ना? अब ये जो ABC का टुकड़ा हमने लिया है वो यहाँ पे नीचे में स्कीमेटिकली बताया है. A, B and C. AB over which the water pressure is acting P, perpendicular to AC is AB. I am very sorry that AC is that concrete surface over which water pressure is acting P. The length of the AC is ds. है ना? कैलकुलेशन में नहीं जाना है, सिर्फ अभी P इंटू ds वगैरह क्यों लिया ये समझ लेना है बस. ओके, सो द लेंथ इज ds, the width of that angle triangle or that side AC. This side AC is making angle with vertical phi. ठीक है? और वैसे ही एंगल ए बी सी और द लाइन ए बी इज परपेंडिकुलर टू ए सी, क्योंकि प्रिंसिपल प्लेन्स आर ऑलवेज परपेंडिकुलर टू ईच अदर. सो एंगल बी ए सी इज 90 डिग्रीज. नाउ वी जॉइंड, है ना? ये यहाँ पे, देयरफॉर वी जॉइंड बी टू सी. सो एंगल ए बी सी इज फाई, क्योंकि ये आउटर एंगल फाई है तो ये भी अंदर का, और अंदर naturally this remaining angle will be 90 minus 5, है ना? 180 है टोटल, 180 में से ये 90 गया तो 90 बचा. ज्यादा नहीं है, सिर्फ अभी समझने के लिए है. ठीक है? AC स्मॉल ds, AB की लेंथ है dr, और BC की लेंथ है dy. ठीक है? ओनली दिस मच, जस्ट फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ, एक बार सिर्फ मैं आपको सुनाई दे रहा है कि नहीं ये क्रॉस चेक कर लेता हूं. ठीक है, इट्स माय माइक्रोफोन इज कनेक्टेड. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा समझने को शुरू में तकलीफ जाएगा, लेकिन कुछ नहीं, हमें आगे में इसका थोड़ा यूज करना है, इसलिए ये समझ ले रहे हैं। इसलिए मैंने डेरिवेशन पार्ट अवॉइड किया, सिर्फ आपको बेसिक चीज समझाया कि प्रिंसिपल प्लेन्स यानी क्या होते हैं। तो यहाँ पे हमने दो प्रिंसिपल प्लेन कंसिडर किए, ए सी और ए बी, और उस हिसाब से ये हमने डैम का जो टो पार्ट है उसमें से इतना टुकड़ा ले लिया, ए बी सी ट्रायंगल का, ए बी सी, and accordingly on side AC, the principal stress acting is capital P, or the water pressure. On pressure A, on side AB, the principal stress acting is sigma 1, and on side BC, as we all know that normal stress Pn is acting, है ना, डैम का फाउंडेशन है, उसका पार्ट है, तो उसके ऊपर ये जो Pn है, विच इज गिवन बाय V बाय B इंटू 1 + -6 E/B, ये हमने अभी लास्ट इसमें ये कैसे निकाला है, प्लीज गो थ्रू दैट, है ना। जो अटेंड कर रहे हैं उनके थोड़े बहुत ख्याल में रहेगा, जो पढ़ के आए हैं उनको तो और अच्छे से ख्याल में होगा। ओके, सो ऑन दिस प्रिंसिपल प्लेन्स AC and AB, as only perpendicular stresses are acting, no shear stress acts, है ना। प्रिंसिपल प्लेन ऐसे ही रहते हैं कि जिसके ऊपर में परपेंडिकुलर स्ट्रेसेस एक्ट, नो shear stress, only shear stress is acting on the base surface BC, है ना। यहाँ पे नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस है और shear stress है, and the direction of the shear stress is from right to left. Why? Because the dam should not slide onto the right side due to the water pressure, है ना। तो इसलिए shear stress direction और shear or resisting stress direction should be in the opposite direction of the sliding. तो टाउ करके आपके इसमें दिख रहा होगा, टाउ is the shear stress at the bottom, Pn is the normal stress at the bottom, sigma 1 is the principal stress on side AB, and P is the principal stress on AC. Okay, with this knowledge we will move further. As I have told you, the face of the dam will be principal plane as water pressure acts on it in the perpendicular direction with no accompanying shear stress, है ना। अब ये बड़े सारे स्केल पे आपको बता रहा हूँ, ये P है, AB is the dam face, downstream dam face, and AC, sorry, and AB is perpendicular to that AC plane, AB plane, and BC is the line joining B and C. Since principal planes are mutually at right angles, the plane AB considered at right angles to AC will have only normal stress on it and will be acting as principal. The forces on elementary sections are shown in this figure. ठीक है, ये मैंने जैसे बताया, DS, DR and DY are the lengths of AC, AB and BC. P is the intensity of water pressure acting normal to the surface of the dam. Sigma 1 is principal stress on plane AB. Tau is the shear stress on plane BC, that is the bottom face. And Pn is the normal stress on the foundation plane BC, and it is given by V by B into 1 + -6 E/B. E is the eccentricity of the resultant, B is the bed width, and V is the net vertical force. With this, without going into the further derivation part, I will give you the direct derived values of sigma 1, that is the principal stress on the face AC. And somebody is there. So the sigma 1 is the principal stress on the principal plane AC, which is equal to Pn into sec square phi minus the P, that is the water pressure on surface AB, multiplied by tan square phi. Phi is the angle ACB. ठीक है, so this is the value which is directly arrived. The derivations are given in your notes. If you are interested, you can go through that. Yeah, if some time is prevailed, एक आध बार हम देखेंगे, लेकिन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इसलिए नहीं है कि वो डेरिवेशन पार्ट बहुत कम पूछते हैं, लेकिन ये डायरेक्ट वैल्यू हमें आगे में यूज करना है, इसलिए समझ ले रहे हैं. Sigma 1 is equal to the principal stress, and these are the values. This equation is also known as the principal stress relationship and is applicable to both upstream and downstream phases. है ना, हमने downstream phase लिया, अभी consider किया, but the same is applicable to the upstream also. However, the downstream side, for the downstream side, the worst condition will be when there will be no tail water, यानी पानी नहीं है, तो क्या होगा, ये P वैल्यू जीरो रहेगी, hence P will be zero. Then in that circumstances sigma 1 is equal to Pn sec square phi. ठीक है, तो यानी ये सिग्मा 1 वैल्यू और ज्यादा आएगी यदि टेल में पानी नहीं है तो, है ना. डाउनस्ट्रीम पार्ट ऑफ द डैम, वी हैव ट्राइड टू अंडरस्टैंड अर्लियर that the dam contains stored water on the upstream side and some water is provided on the downstream side in the gravity dam as a एनर्जी डिसिपेशन अरेंजमेंट. थोड़ा पानी हम डाउनस्ट्रीम में भी वाटर टैंक, छोटा सा तालाब बना के रखते हैं, उसमें कम डेप्थ का पानी रहता है जिसको टेल वाटर करके बोलते हैं. लेकिन वो यदि नहीं है उसमें, है ना, वी आर कंसिडरिंग ऑल दिस from the safety point of view. If sometimes there is no tail water in the dam, then the principal stress in the body of the dam will increase. ये P zero रहेगा, then that will be sigma 1 is equal to Pn sec square phi. वैसे ही Pe dash is the hydrodynamic pressure of tail water, है ना. एखादे hydrodynamic pressure is due to the earthquake. So these above values are when there is no earthquake, no seismic phenomena takes place. If earthquake is there, then Pe dash is equal to hydrodynamic pressure of tail water. Tail water में hydrodynamic pressure created by the earthquake. This principal stress will become sigma 1 is equal to Pn sec square phi minus P minus Pe dash tan square phi. Pe dash is the hydrodynamic pressure. Similarly, hydrodynamic pressure on the upstream side, the principal stress is given by Pn sec square phi minus P plus, यहाँ पे P minus Pe dash है, यहाँ पे P plus P है, ये Pe is the hydrodynamic pressure due to the water stored on the upstream side into tan square phi. ठीक है, ये only keep this in mind, and if sometimes they ask you the note, you can directly write it down. Now the shear stress tau is given by Pn minus P tan phi for the downstream side, and for upstream side same value of the tau, only with the sign change, that is tau is equal to minus, है ना. shear stress अभी हमने देखा था, that shear stress is from right to left. So for downstream phase it is from right to left, for the upstream phase it is from left to right. Okay, so therefore that value is minus, which is Pn minus P tan phi. And again, if tail water is neglected, this P value will be 0. So tau is equal to Pn tan phi. And if we consider the earthquake force or that hydrodynamic force, again this will be Pn minus, for the downstream side, P minus P dash tan phi, and on the upstream side P plus P dash tan phi. And if upstream face is vertical, अपस्ट्रीम फेस यदि नीचे में ट्रायंगुलर नहीं है और वर्टिकल है, तो ये फाई वैल्यू जीरो रहेगी, तो टाउ भी जीरो रहेगा, है ना. टाउ tan phi is 0. So therefore that this value will be 0. So therefore this tau value will be 0. ठीक है, ये tan phi is multiplier to both. If the vertical face is there on the upstream side, downstream में तो vertical रहता ही नहीं है क्योंकि स्टेबिलिटी के लिए दिया जाता है. ठीक है, विद दिस मच नॉलेज अभी तक के जो हमने देखा कि द प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेसेस सिग्मा 1 Pn P tau upstream downstream values. Okay, With this much knowledge, the principal stresses which are created inside the body of the dam and this normal stress at the bottom of the dam, at the bed of the dam, Pn. We will move on to the next part of your syllabus actually. Elementary profile of the dam, gravity dam. Elementary profile of gravity dam, है ना? डैम, हमने सबसे पहले ग्रेविटी डैम पढ़ते, जब ये यूनिट चालू किया तब हमने देखा था कि for retain the dam is provided for retaining the depth of water of H, and the load diagram of this water is triangular, है ना? हमने देखा था the load diagram of this water which is stored on upstream side of the dam of depth H is triangular. Its height will be H and its base width will be the density of water gamma or W into H, that triangular load we have seen. So to retain this triangular load, if the dam actually we need to construct, then we can provide only this triangular dam on the in the body of the dam. ठीक है, तो ये ऐसा ट्रायंगुलर डैम हम प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं, राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल और एनी अदर साइड टाइप ऑफ द ट्रायंगल. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल, थियोरेटिकल प्रोफाइल. यदि हम ऐसा ट्रायंगल देते हैं तो फिर से इसका ये ट्रायंगल या जो डैम बॉडी है उसका वेट वर्टिकली डाउनवर्ड्स एक्ट होगा. हॉरिजॉन्टल वाटर का जो प्रेशर है वो एट h/3 एट द सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी ऑफ दिस ट्रायंगल, it will be at h/3, so it will be w into h at the bottom and h/3 from the bottom. ठीक है, the weight will act if the dam is empty. डैम में यदि पानी नहीं है तो ये जो w है ये लेफ्ट साइड से फिर से ये ट्रायंगल के सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी b/3 पे एक्ट होगा. And if water is there, then this w will be shift towards the downstream side. It will not come towards the upstream side. And again the combination of the horizontal and the vertical force resultant will act, and all of we have learnt earlier that this resultant should be first and foremost is within the body of the dam, and best way it should be within middle third of the dam up for dam foundation. डैम फाउंडेशन के मिडिल थर्ड में रहना चाहिए b/3 में, सेंटर से, यानी एक साइड से b/6 दूसरे साइड से b/6. और ये जो रिजल्टेंट है ये रिजल्टेंट का सेंटर से डिस्टेंस, इसको हम इसेंट्रिसिटी करके बोलते हैं. ठीक है, b/2 एंड दिस इज अगेन द अपलिफ्ट प्रेशर डायग्राम. दिस अपलिफ्ट प्रेशर एक्ट्स on the bed of the dam. This is due to the seeping water through the foundation of the dam, and this uplift pressure is equal to again W into H, or the specific gravity of water multiplied by the density of water multiplied by height, or the density W into H. Okay, so this triangular it acts. So now we will, with this knowledge, and this triangle makes an angle of phi at the top. This is called as the elementary profile. So in absence of any other force than the forces due to water, यानी पानी के अलावा और कोई फोर्सेस नहीं है डैम के ऊपर में, अर्थक्वेक फोर्स नहीं है, सिल्ट नहीं है, तो ये डैम का सेक्शन हम ऐसा ट्रायंगुलर दे सकते हैं. एन एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल विल बी ट्रायंगुलर इन सेक्शन हैविंग जीरो विड्थ एट द टॉप. ये एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल की विड्थ विल बी जीरो एट द टॉप, or water level at the top, and water pressure is zero at the top. Because the water pressure is zero, therefore zero width at the top. Maximum base width B, that is AB, where maximum water pressure acts, that water pressure is equal to W into capital H. Thus the section of elementary profile is same shape as hydrostatic pressure distribution diagram, है ना? ये hydrostatic pressure is triangular on the upstream side of the dam, and the triangle has got height h and the base width W into H. W is the density of water. If the reservoir is empty, ये reservoir में पानी नहीं है, a right angle triangle as profile as shown here will provide the maximum possible stabilizing force against overturning without causing tension in the base. This is so because the weight of the dam acts B by 3 from the upstream face and closer to it. If other than right angle triangle, if any other triangular profile other than this right angle is provided to the dam, which we generally don't provide, lekin theoretically if we think that if we provide other than the right angle triangle any other triangle as the body of the dam, its weight will act still closer to the upstream side, है ना. कैसा भी इधर से अब ट्रायंगल देना है ना, फिर से एक इधर से एक और कंक्रीट करना पड़ेगा ट्रायंगल करने के लिए, तो इसका वेट जो है वो अपस्ट्रीम साइड में शिफ्ट होगा. इधर जैसे ट्रायंगल की एक साइड बढ़ती है तो इसका वेट भी अपस्ट्रीम साइड में शिफ्ट होगा. It will act, its weight will act still closer to upstream face to provide a more stabilizing force. But tension may be created, developed at the toe when the dam is empty. डैम में पानी नहीं है तो टेंशन क्रिएट हो सकता है. अब ये जो एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल है, ये एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल की बेस विड्थ क्या प्रोवाइड करना चाहिए, इसका डिजाइन पार्ट हम थोड़ा सा समझ लेते हैं. ठीक है, कोई डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, इट इज वेरी इजी. जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड विथ अवर अर्लियर नॉलेज of certain that Pn and the tau and the sigma 1 and these other parts. So we shall consider following forces acting on elementary profile of gravity dam. First is weight of the dam. डैम का वेट, डैम का वेट कितना रहेगा, डैम का सेक्शन that is 1/2 base in sectional area, 1/2 base into height. Okay, base is B, so 1/2 B into H multiplied by the specific gravity of dam material rho and W, that is unit weight of the water, or specific gravity multiplied by unit weight of water is nothing but density of dam material. So we can write down 1/2 base into height multiplied by density, and we have not written multiplied by 1 as the unit length of dam. ठीक है, डैम का वॉल्यूम 1 मीटर के लिए कितना होगा, वो एरिया इंटू विड्थ 1 मीटर. So therefore volume multiplied by the density will give you the weight of the dam. So 1/2 B into H is the area multiplied by its length of the dam is 1 meter, unit we have considered. So 1 multiplied by rho into W is the weight of the dam. I think everybody of you must have understood. Now the water pressure. As I have told you, it is triangularly acting on the upstream side. So that triangle will have the base width of W into H. So right angle triangle, its area will give 1/2 base, that is W into H. W is the density of water or the unit weight of water. So 1/2 W into H multiplied by the height H, base into height. So it will be 1/2 W into H square multiplied by 1 meter width. So therefore 1/2 W into H square is the water pressure, and this acts at a distance of H by 3 from the base. Uplift pressure due to the seeping water is again area of this uplift triangle, which is equal to 1/2 of C into W into B into H. ठीक है, 1/2 of CW into H. Why? Because CWH is the base width of this triangle. Height is B, so 1/2 base into height. Base is equal to CWH into the B, small b is the height of that triangle. C is the uplift pressure intensity coefficient. ये C जो है ये uplift pressure intensity coefficient है. ठीक है, so these are the basic forces which are acting over the dam body. Now, as I have told you, we have to find out the base width of the elementary profile from our design aspect point of view. There are two criteria to find out the base width of the elementary profile. The first is the stress criteria and another is the stability or the sliding criteria. ठीक है, now we will move on to the first criteria, that is the stress criteria or the crushing criteria, you can say. When the reservoir is empty, no tension is developed on the upstream side, on the hill side, then the resultant will act at the inner third point M1. ये जो M1 है इनर थर्ड है ना, सेंटर C है, इधर से इधर B/6 और on the right side B/6. So B/6 plus B/6 will be 2B/6 which is equal to B/3. तो ये मिडिल थर्ड हो गया B/3. तो इनर थर्ड यानी ये जो M1 है is the inner part of that third B/3 point. Therefore, this resultant will act, the resultant would act at the inner third point M1 for the reservoir full condition. Okay. Now, this is for the reservoir empty condition. M1 will act at this inner third, and for the reservoir full condition, no tension to develop, the resultant must pass R must pass through outer middle third, that is M2 है ना. तो ये रिजल्टेंट जो है, ये रिजल्टेंट यदि डैम एम्प्टी है तो एक तो M1 से पास होना चाहिए टेंशन डेवलप ना होने के लिए डाउनस्ट्रीम में, और यदि डैम पानी से भरा हुआ है, फुल है, तो ये M2 से रिजल्टेंट पास होना चाहिए, इसके बाहर नहीं होना चाहिए, और ये लेफ्ट साइड में भी ये मिडिल थर्ड के अंदर साइड में होना, नहीं तो डाउनस्ट्रीम में टेंशन क्रिएट होगा. These are the conditions for the stress criteria. So now taking moment of all forces about M2, ये जो है ना W, the horizontal force and the uplift force, तो ये सभी forces की moment, taking moment about M2 and equating to 0. Why? Because the moment R जो resultant है ये M2 में से पास होता है इसलिए. ठीक है, क्योंकि रिजल्टेंट R is passing through M2, so therefore there is no lever arm for the R, so R into lever arm will be 0, so moment of R about M2 will be 0. So therefore we will equate the other forces moment about this point M2 and equate to 0. So 1/2 WH square, that is the water pressure, and about this point M2, its lever arm is H/3 multiplied by H/3 plus the uplift now 1/2 CWH into H, and this acts at a distance of B/3, and it is acting at a distance of B/3 from M2 minus, अब ये all these reactions are clockwise due to the water pressure and due to the uplift. Now the anti-clockwise reaction with respect to point M2 by the weight of the dam is 1/2 base into height into rho W. This is the total weight or total force or load, and this acts at a distance of B/3 from M2, which is equal to 0, equating, multiplying both these sides by 6 upon WH, and solving this equation we get base width B is equal to the total height H divided by rho, that is the density of the water, density of the concrete, minus C, that is the uplift pressure coefficient. Okay, so therefore rho is the density or the specific weight of the concrete. Rho is the specific weight or specific gravity of the concrete. W is the density of water, and C is the uplift pressure coefficient C. So base width B is equal to H upon rho square root rho minus C. So this is with respect from the stress criteria point of view. Now the base width to be calculated from stability or sliding criteria that we will see. For no sliding to occur, sliding नहीं होना चाहिए, the horizontal force causing sliding should be balanced by the frictional forces opposing the same. So the pressure P, that is horizontal force of the water, 1/2 of WH square है ना, हमने देखा था 1/2 बेस इंटू हाइट, 1/2 WH इंटू H. So 1/2 WH square is equal to the frictional resistance mu multiplied by the total load of the dam minus the uplift pressure. तो that will be the frictional forces, frictional resistance. तो जो डैम को लेफ्ट से राइट साइड में ढकेल रहा है वो है वाटर प्रेशर, और उसको अपोज कौन कर रहा है, डैम का खुद का वेट ड्यू टू फ्रिक्शन. लेकिन ये वेट कम हो रहा है, क्यों कम हो रहा है, क्योंकि उसके ऊपर अपलिफ्ट एक्ट हो रहा है. So therefore that will be equal to mu into 1/2 of BH rho W minus 1/2 of CBWH. ये हमने दोनों पहले निकाला है स्टेप्स में. So this, by solving this we will get the B is equal to H upon mu into rho minus C. ठीक है. और if uplift is neglected, इसमें से uplift छोड़ देते हैं हम, तो it will be B is equal to H upon mu into rho. Mu is the frictional coefficient and rho is the specific gravity or specific weight of the dam material. So this is another equation for the base width. We have to work out the base width by both method, by the stress criteria and by the stability criteria, and the maximum or greater of the base width is to be taken. Okay, either by this equation or by this equation or the earlier equation, that is B is equal to H upon square root rho minus C. ठीक है, this is to be followed. Now various stresses which are developed into the elementary profile, the derivations are there. Again Pn we know that V upon B 1 plus minus 6 E upon B, plus value acts at the downstream, that is tau, and minus value of the normal stress is at the upstream, that is at the hill. हमने वो ट्रेपेजॉइडल डायग्राम, स्ट्रेस डायग्राम देखा था उसकी, नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस की. Okay, so therefore the vertical, total vertical force we know, weight of the dam minus the uplift in this case, and the eccentricities we have considered as B by 6 on the right side, B by 6 on the left side. For the full reservoir case, when the dam is full, this resultant is acting on the right side middle third extreme end, that is on the right side B by 6. So the normal stress at the toe is Pn is equal to V is equal to W by minus U upon B into 1 plus E is equal to B by 6. So therefore B by 6, B by 6, B, 6 by B multiplied by B by 6 will be 1. So 1 plus 1 will be 2. So the Pn will be 2 into W minus U upon B. ये W और U की वैल्यू हम पुट करते हैं, 1/2 of B into H rho W minus 1/2 of CBWH. We get the normal stress Pn is equal to WH into rho minus C, and the corresponding stress at the hill will be 0. है ना, हिल में 1 minus 6 E by B आएगा, B by 6 रखा तो ये 1 आएगा, तो 1 minus 1 will be 0. So normal stress at the hill will be 0, and the normal stress at the toe will be WH into rho minus 6. Again this will be triangular normal stress diagram. Similarly the principal stresses, हमने we have seen earlier sigma 1 is equal to Pn sec square phi, neglecting the tail water pressure. This we have derived earlier, putting the value of Pn there as found out earlier. ये पहले हमने जो Pn की वैल्यू निकाला, Pn is equal to WH into rho minus C, ये इक्वेशन में पुट करते हैं हम, WH into rho minus C, and sec square phi is equal to B upon H whole square plus 1. B upon H whole square is equal to 1 minus rho minus C. So it will be 1 upon rho minus C plus 1, or the sigma. This is very important derivation we have come, because we are using this in our next discussion regarding limiting height or the practical profile. So after solution we get the principal stress sigma 1 is equal to W into H into rho minus C plus 1. W is the density of water, rho is the specific gravity or specific weight of the concrete, C is the uplift coefficient. So this will give us the principal stress sigma 1. In the same way, we can find out the tau. So tau is equal to WH into rho माइनस सी. ठीक है, टाउ में पी एन टेन फाइव पी एन में फिर से वो वैल्यू रखा, टेन फाइव इज इक्वल टू बी बाय एच, है ना. फाइव हमको मालूम है वहां पे क्या है, that is the uppermost angle is phi. So we can find out the cot the earlier sec phi जो है यहाँ पे sec phi sec square phi. So sec phi is equal to b upon h उसका square. So therefore that we have found out, and in the same way we have found out the tan pi, and we have found out the shear stress at the bottom of the dam triangular profile excuse me, is equal to W into H into rho minus C. C is the normal stress at the heel is zero, so principal stress and shear stress will be zero there. And if the reservoir is empty, then in that case, the maximum compressive stress at the heel will be 2W by B, and the corresponding normal stress at toe will be zero. Okay, if reservoir is empty. So these are the various stresses we have found out. There is another criteria which is by Mr. Morris and Levy, है ना. इसने भी ये एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल के बेस विड्थ के बारे में he has presumed something, he has assumed, and he has arrived at this derivation base width is equal to h upon rho minus 1. ठीक है. So when with c is equal to 1, the uplift gradient is 1, then in that case we get this as the base width required according to Morris Levy. मॉरिस लेवी करके एक जोड़ी थी इंजीनियर की, उनका क्राइटेरिया उन्होंने ऐसे निकाला. एक आध बार एग्जाम में पूछा तो ध्यान में रखिए या ऐसे पढ़ लीजिए एक बार. दैट बेस विड्थ हमने दो क्राइटेरिया के लिए निकाला अभी, कि वन इज फॉर द स्ट्रेस क्राइटेरिया and the another is for the sliding criteria. Stress criteria के लिए base width is equal to h upon rho minus square root rho minus c, और यहाँ के लिए हमने निकाला b is equal to h upon for the sliding criteria h upon mu upon rho minus c. So by the Morris Lewis, he has found out the base width, and he has found out the base width as h upon rho minus 1. ठीक है. With this knowledge, we will move into the last part of our lecture, which will take 10 to 15 minutes. That is limiting height of the gravity dam, high and low gravity dam. हमने अभी एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल क्या है करके देखा, और आखिरी में प्रैक्टिकल प्रोफाइल, यानी एक्चुअली हम डैम ट्रायंगुलर नहीं बनाते, हम टॉप विड्थ देते हैं, बॉटम में थोड़ी विड्थ बढ़ाते हैं. तो वो कैसे प्रोवाइड करते हैं वो थोड़ा सा लिमिटिंग हाइट ऑफ द डैम के बारे में पढ़ लेंगे. ठीक है. ये सिग्मा 1 इज इक्वल टू डब्ल्यू एच इंटू रो माइनस सी प्लस 1. दिस वी हैव फाउंड आउट दिस सिग्मा 1 वैल्यू हियर. ठीक है. ये जो वैल्यू है अभी हमने देखा था, सिग्मा 1 इज इक्वल टू डब्ल्यू एच इंटू रो माइनस सी प्लस 1. वी हैव डिराइव्ड दिस प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेस एट टो व्हेन द डैम इज फुल. We are using this equation here. So the principal stress at the toe is given by sigma 1 into WH into rho minus C plus 1. W is the density of water, H is the height of water, rho is the specific gravity or weight of the concrete, and C is the uplift pressure gradient. So this is sigma 1 is given. This is the principal stress or the maximum stress that has been created within the body of the dam, है ना. As we are considering regarding the limiting height of the dam, डैम की हाइट कितनी रखना चाहिए, हाई एंड द लो डैम को किसको बोलते हैं वो समझने के लिए we are using this principal stress formula. Now this sigma 1, which is the principal or maximum stress, should have the value which should not exceed the allowable compressive stress of the dam material, which is denoted by F. Are you getting me? The maximum stress that is being created within the body of the dam due to the water pressure and due to all other forces, dam weight, etc., and the uplift. That principal stress or the maximum stress which is created within the body of the dam should be less than the compressive stress or compressive strength of the concrete or masonry of which the dam is made. If that principal stress is more, then the dam will be crushed, dam में cracks आएगी. If that principal stress is less than the allowable stress of the material, then the dam will be safe, it will not get crushed. Please try to understand. Then in the limiting case, this sigma 1 is equal to F, or the allowable stress, which is equal to W into H into rho minus C plus 1. And the height of the dam then is given by MF upon W into rho minus C plus 1. Very simple. We are interested into the height of the dam, limiting height. So at H, or height of the dam, is equal to F upon W into rho minus C plus 1. Without uplift, this derivation will be F upon C is equal to 0 हमने किया, तो W upon rho plus 1. This height of the dam is more than that given in the above equation. If height of the dam is more than this equation, this value, then the maximum compressive stresses will exceed the permissible stress, and there will be failure of due to the crushing at the toe, and which is not required. तो क्या करना चाहिए, इसलिए we have to limit the height of the dam. So therefore this H is to be fixed to certain value. Above that value, if the height is there, then definitely at the downstream the compressive stresses are created, and upstream the tensile stresses are created. Okay, so and below that height there will not be any stresses on the downstream. So that height, limiting height, and below that height they are called as the low gravity dam, and above that height, that limiting height, is called as the high gravity dam. So a low gravity dam is one which has the height h is less than the given by that above equation h. So the maximum compressive stress is not greater than the allowable stress of the material. For general, taking W, that is the water density of water, as 9.81, है ना, हम क्या लेते हैं 10 लेते हैं या 9.81 acceleration due to gravity, kilo Newton per meter cube. Rho, that is the specific gravity of the concrete, is 2.4, and it is the in kg per meter cube, it is 2400 kg per meter cube. Then the limiting height in meters is given by ये value यदि उसमें put करते हैं तो h is equal to 0.03 f. Now what is the compressive strength of the concrete? Generally it is 2940 kilonewton per meter square. If we put these values in this equation, then we get the height as 88 meters. Okay, so this is that boundary height. ये height से कम यदि dam है तो there will not be any compressive stresses created at the toe and no tensile stresses at the heel. ठीक है, if the height of the dam to be constructed is more than this 88 meter, the dam is known as high gravity dam. यानी इससे जो बड़ा है h से 88 मीटर से, then we call it as the high gravity dam. तो ऐसा होने के बाद में definitely on the downstream and on the upstream, on the downstream compressive stresses are created more than the compressive strength of bearing material, and on the upstream side tensile stresses are created. ठीक है, तो ऐसे वक्त में क्या करते हैं हम कि ये h जो है 88 मीटर, इससे जितनी हाइट ज्यादा है, जैसे स्मॉल h है, फॉर दैट स्मॉल h वैल्यू we provide a batter on the upstream side and additional batter or additional slope on the downstream side. So the dam section will look like this. What will it do? It will increase the weight of the dam, and naturally, and the base width will also be increased. Base width of the dam will increase and will ultimately result in reducing the compressive stresses. Okay, so extra slope to the upstream and downstream sides are given below the limiting height h से जो ज्यादा है, to bring the compressive stresses within limit. ठीक है, so this is all about the limiting height of the dam. Now we are coming to the last part of today's discussion, that is the practical profile of the gravity dam. We have learnt earlier the theoretical profile or the elementary profile is this triangular profile. ठीक है, यदि डैम को सिर्फ प्रोवाइड करना है वाटर रिटेंशन के लिए, अदर देन no other forces are acting other than the water and the uplift, then only triangular section is sufficient. But for practical purposes, by providing the top width of the roadway dam and additional loads due to roadway, freeboard, earthquake, etc., we need to modify the theoretical section into this practical section, which will have a top width of T. Okay. And the freeboard is also required, which is the margin provided between top of the bank and high flood level in the reservoir to prevent the splashing of waves over the non-overflow section. It also takes care of the unforeseen floods. ज्यादा के जो फ्लड आ सकते हैं एक आध बार जो हमने सोचा नहीं था, है ना, तो इसलिए वी प्रोवाइड द फ्री बोर्ड नॉट लेस देन 0.9 मीटर्स और 3 to 4% ऑफ द डैम हाइट. ठीक है, 0.9 मीटर से कम फ्री बोर्ड हम नहीं रखते, या डैम हाइट जो एच है उससे 3 से 4% रखते, इसमें से दोनों में से विच इज मैक्सिमम दैट वी प्रोवाइड. The top width provided for the practical profile is T, which is denoted by AD, and the elementary profile is ABC. Triangular profile is ABC. Again, M1 and M2 are the resultant passing through the middle third, and a middle third point है M1 M2. Okay. So this is all about the basic or elementary profile information. AM1 is the inner third point and MI AM1, and again the MI is the M यानी ये जो width ये जो AD है उसका T 2/3T, or from D it is T third. MI is the line passing through the centroid of the added triangle ADE, ये जो ऊपर में added triangle ADE है. Both these lines intersect at M. Both these lines intersect at M. Both these lines also intersects at H. ठीक है, ये H में यानी AM1 और MI intersect at H. So therefore for all these points the resultant will therefore be shifted. यदि हम additional triangle देते हैं, additional width देते हैं ऊपर में, तो this resultant will be shifted to the left of line AM1. Resultant will shift to the left of line M, causing tension at the downstream face when the reservoir is empty. Therefore there will require provision of upstream batter FC1. इसलिए थोड़ा सा ज्यादा का concrete या ज्यादा का section in the form of FC1 needed to be provided. Below the plane FHG, ये जो FHG है इसके नीचे इतना देना है. To find the depth H dash, the plane FHG below upstream batter, then this H dash is equal to 2T into square root of SC minus C. SC is the specific gravity of the concrete, C is the compressive strength of the concrete, उसका square root. ठीक है. So this is C is the that uplift coefficient. So this much is needed. SC is the specific gravity of the concrete. So 2T into SC minus C, H dash value can be found out. है ना? Just keep this thing in mind that for practical profile, other than this triangular profile, we need to provide the top width of the dam, the pre-board to the dam, and some batter on the upstream side, as well as if H is more than the minimum height 88 meters, then downstream slope also needed to be provided. Again, all precautions this is needed to keep the resultant into the middle third. ठीक है. Again on the left, the two figures you are seeing, this is on the right side is the theoretical profile along with the top width provided. On the left side the actual practical profile with the various values of the T, this height additional provided which is equal to 0.14 H. Okay, all these values are provided, the H dash 2T into square root of SC etc. So this is all that is needed for the practical profile of the dam. Okay. So here we will be taking the finish of our unit number 3.